behind closed doors is because there is such a stigma and just this negative image about what it is that we are, what it is that we practice, and who we are as people. And it's very unfair, but it's the idea of the society that we live in, and the very, very present religious overtones and Judeo-Christianity, and even some more stricter forms of practice religion. There's a lot of bleed there for being African American. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bleed there, and even for me being Polynesian, like that's another thing. And the heritage of my name, that's another thing. Like there's just so many layers. I'm also a U.S. veteran for the Army. I couldn't talk about how I wanted to live. I couldn't. It's literally in the rule book for being in the Army is you can only have sex via missionary style.
What?
That is a real fucking thing. Like it's crazy. I don't know if they updated this since the regulation.
Wow.
But that's just to kind of give you an idea of the things that we have to endure. Like we both lost our family via the other person. When I was going through some hardship not that long ago, my parents were telling me, "Oh, you can come back home, but you can't bring Dori." And I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Yeah. And then I got a series of nasty messages and phone calls from Dori's mother, talking about how I was treating her daughter like a dog, and that you're giving up her ownership, and I'm the devil for owning her soul, and all this nonsense. And it was just like, you don't know me, you don't know your daughter even, if you're assuming this, and it's just unfair for both sides. So that's why we kept very, very quiet about it, because we feel like it's nobody else's business. But in the nature of being an entertainer and being a part of a community and being a cultivator and catalyst for the ideas that I have, it's not fair for me to be silent. I'm supposed to be the voice piece and the mouthpiece for people who don't feel comfortable speaking up. Yeah. I'd rather use myself as an example than to down anybody else or to put anybody else's business out there. Yeah. I'll put my shit on blast. And then there's negative repercussions for every action, just as there are positive repercussions for them. Like with everything in life, there's balance. And that's ultimately what it's truly about. Like, not everybody is the same. Not everybo's the same freaking puzzle piece.
And so how's the way you live your lifestyle? How's it freed you? What are the positive parts of it? The benefits of just doing what you want and doing what is true to you?
Well, even though we do have to guard ourselves and our energies and be sure to only reveal information as necessary to the necessary people, it's nice to not have to hide.
Yeah.
I know that when I'm with Dori, excuse me, one of Dori's main purposes is she is an anchor for me. She keeps me more human than anything else. She allows me to see my flaws from another person's standpoint. And even when I'm too much, or if I'm overbearing, or, I'm a very passionate person. And I think a lot of people may conflate that passion with anger or with aggressiveness. Aggression. It is, but wrong context. She helps me to see, hey, well, maybe not like this, and I hate to say it, but a lot of times Dori does end up being the emotional whipping boy for a lot of the angst and anxiety that I feel. And though it's not fair in the normal sense of looking at it, that's her role. Like, she does take the brunt of my wrath because of the fact that I don't want to dispel on anybody else, and I know that she can take it, and for us, a lot of people believe that it's always going to be physical. Dori has a pretty high pain tolerance, so the way that she's disciplined isn't physical. Yeah. And the way that she's hurt isn't in a physical way.
So how is it?
She's very much a cerebral creature. She's very mental. So it's a very careful practice in the way that I do discipline her, because I have to reach her where she is mentally, and ultimately I want her to grow. I don't want to chastise her and break her down without rebuilding her. What I want her to do is to grow, and some of these times she'll need pruning to be like, you don't want to grow like this in this way yet. You're not ready yet, because if you grow a branch that's too low, too heavy, it'll break the trunk if it's not substantiated.
Do it organically.
So she understands that when she is punished, it's typically for a reason. It's usually just a reaction to her action. It's a consequence to something that she's done that's outside of the agreements of our relationship.
Is that received graciously, Dori? How do you receive it when you are punished? Is that the right word?
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah. In trouble?
Yeah. Well, depending on the severity, I usually either have a breakthrough or I see the error in where I've been looking what I did. You know, so a lot of times when you grow up and you get whoopings, you know, you're not really sure what you did, but you know you're sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like feeling like I don't know what I did, because the next time if it comes across, then I don't know how to make it better or even improve upon that. So a lot of times when I'm mentally punished, I have to literally erase everything, empty my cup, make sure that what I knew before wasn't correct, and that this is why I'm being punished. And so in order to move on, in order to be better, I have to realize those mistakes, but it's much harder to do mentally. It's much harder to uproot everything that
it's just a perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You thought you knew, and then put in this new seed, because not only is it traumatic, you're like, oh, that was everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, fuck, now I have this little seed, all right? I'm just gonna sit here and go, I'm gonna grow? Okay, I'm gonna grow. You know?
So does it make you feel, does it simplify you in a way where it's like you go back into more of a childlike innocence, where it's like I'm just gonna like sit with my emotions and in a more innocent way explore like who I am and like my actions?
Yeah, I can say that.
Does it ever make you feel shut down?
Yeah, a lot. It causes me being in my shell.
In your shell.
Yeah, like now you poke a turtle and I'm just like,
yeah.
Sometimes I'll like completely shut down, but that's more me going back in my head. Like you said, I'm a very mental creature, so sometimes I'll even check out of reality.
She beats herself up a lot too.
It looks like I'm there. I'm just like way in my head trying to figure out this problem or figure out where it started or, you know, where it stemmed from.
Yeah.
And that's basically that's exactly what I asked for. You know, a lot of times when I feel like I'm upset or things aren't really going how I want them to go, it's because things have been going how I want them to go before, and it led me to a point where I needed to be challenged. I needed to grow. I needed to move forward.
So it helps you to move along with challenges easier because you kind of have less resistance to challenges now. That makes sense.
I wouldn't say she has less resistance to challenges. I would say that her challenges have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, they
So do you feel like you've grown through a lot of challenges as far as like your mental blocks, your emotional blocks?
Well, I feel like I mastered my physical health. Everything that could hold me back physically, I kind of been through. So now I come to a cusp or a point where it's like all my mental blocks and all my mental challenges were really the root of the problem. You know, it's like mental, physical, and spiritual. You know, so now I'm kind of in the second stage of figuring it all out and getting to the root of who I am and how I want to be.
I'm still like absorbing all of this. I didn't know all this, you guys. I know them, but I didn't know this. I'm still absorbing it. And I'm so happy that you guys are being open and vulnerable. It's like speaking from the heart. What was my next question?
One of our breakthroughs, I think I asked him, like, could it be possible? Like, I had to like really go back in my head to when I was a kid, and the certain things that I thought were normal and other kids thought were weird.
Your behaviors, Was there anything that you felt was like sub-like when you were a kid?
I used to write. I was in high school. I used to write werewolf novels, but not like Twilight, but like
adult ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Old, sexy.
We had the nasty scene.
And I recently checked on it. It had like 2,000 views or reads. Yes. Yeah. And I had like made books like it was like 1 book, 2 book, 3 book. Yeah. So all 3 books were like a K and above. And I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, that was something that I just it like clicked for me in one of my breakthroughs. I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't think that would be something that connected. But
yeah. And so do you still talk to your family?
I do not really these days. My mother didn't take it well. I tried to reach out to my father.
Wait, she didn't take it well. What did you tell her?
I'm
nosy. I like details.
I told her I was a sub, and in telling her this, I thought I would have the room for a definition or an explanation of what my relationship was like. But I said I'm a sub, and she was gone. She just took off with it. She was like, "I already know what this means. This is what you're doing. I hate what you're doing, and I don't like it."
Yeah.
Like, okay.
You get a chance to explain what it was for you.
Well, and before I could even like reach out to my family or my father or any of my friends or anything like that, Facebook, she'd already reached out to them, leave a voicemail, text message, and all this. So before I could even have an explanation for it, she'd already out.
Yeah.
You're listening.
Could have gave her a chance. But I mean, you guys, you're sharing it now.
Yeah.
So I mean, whoever watching this, they know who you are and that you're doing what makes you happy. Running your truth. I have some more questions. Do you have any questions more? Anything?
Oh, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, look and see in there. We're gonna get to some questions.
I think people are just, adding input.
Yeah, I want to know what you guys think. Is there anybody out there that practices open relationships, dom-sub relationships, just literally a different structure than monogamous? Only because we are giving awareness to that. Because there's just so many different ways to live. And it's funny because me, I would always consider myself mostly monogamous.
It won't let me play music and watch this.
It won't. You thought you could do that? No.
She was doing it earlier. How did you do that?
Oh, I don't know.
Scroll a thing.
They never let you do that. But yeah, so where was I going with this? Yeah, so I, because I.
Oh, I did it.
Live a more monogamous. I think I'm more traditional. I'm weird though, because I'm all over the place. I'm sexually fluid. Most days I love men, but I couldn't really say that because I could wake up tomorrow and be like, pussy. So it really just like it changes. So I don't even like to box myself.
Don't put me in a box.
Yeah, but there's certain things that I've tried that I know I don't like. Like I unicorn one time.
What?
Okay, 2 times. Okay, I didn't like it. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't like it.
What do you mean by unicorn? Because
okay,
I think
so
you're using that term.
A married couple.
Okay, so that's
a real unicorn, isn't it?
No.
Like a real one.
Okay, so a unicorn in the lifestyle is a single female who is fluid, who will do anything with anybody. They're down.
Oh, that makes sense, huh? Unicorn.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not a unicorn.
When somebody says that you're a unicorn, that means that it's hard for them to find somebody that meets their standards.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's kind of a loosely used term.
It is.
It's not a set term in the lifestyle, but when somebody's a unicorn, you know that they have no attachment to anybody else. They're very free-spirited.
Yeah.
They do what they want.
Okay. Thank you. So I guess I'm not unicorn. I have a threesome with a couple.
Is she a pillow princess?
Twice.
Somebody else.
Pillow princess?
Yeah, I think
Are you a pillow princess? A pillow princess means you just lay there and
no, she's not. Absolutely not. I think they're asking you if you're a pillow princess.
Me?
But
I look like a pillow princess?
Yeah, she's definitely not.
If you guys watch my other videos, I told you I'm orally oriented. Orally oriented means I get immense pleasure from putting things in my mouth, whether that's vagina or penis or ass. So I am just built that way.
There's a lot of people with oral fixations.
It's oral, yeah. It's pretty much oral fixation. So I'm not a pillow princess. I actually get a lot of pleasure from giving. Like if I suck dick, I'm literally dripping. The same thing if I have vagina in my mouth, it's literally I'm dripping. So that's how I'm wired. So no, I'm not a pillow princess at all.
Yeah.